Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome back to Ars Nouveau. Today is the day, people. Today, we're going to upgrade this spellbook. Right now it's tier 2, and quite honestly, I'm tired of that. I want to upgrade. And in order to upgrade this spellbook, we need a few items. Most importantly, well, they're kind of all important. There are 3 items here that are more difficult to get than others. Wilden Tribute, Nether Star, and Totem of Undying. Now, Nether Star, there is a Wither Skeleton farm in the server here, so that's honestly not too hard to get. Ender Pearls, Emeralds, those aren't even worth bothering. Wilden Tribute, that one there is going to be probably the most difficult, and then a Totem of Undying. I actually have a couple of those. Someone dropped some off at my bed the other day, so I have 2 of those. We might do a raid somewhere as well just to do it, but to be honest, I don't really need to. I've got a couple right here. Not worried about that. So, let's go hit you on this again. Wilden Tribute. Obtained by defeating the Wilden Chimera. See Ritual of Summon Wilden. So let's go ahead and look up that. In fact, we'll search for Wild. There's a few items that we need. We need a Wilden Spike, Wing, and Horn. As well as, of course, the actual tablet, which needs some combination of various things. Emerald Block, Iron Sword Bow. Okay, well, either way, it can be made with either 3 of any one of these or all 3 together, and a block of lapis. So lapis we should be decent on at this point. Yeah, we've got plenty of those. Let's do Wilden. We've got, let's see, 37 horns, 19. Okay, so we're good on all of those, so we don't need to actually worry about that. Let's go ahead and grab, we'll just do this one. And I'm gonna actually get a couple of these, just in case. Let's grab ourselves a ritual pedestal, ritual brazier, sorry. And while we're at it, let's grab a few more of these. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. I want that just to be even with the number of tablets that I have. With that, I think we have ourselves something to work with. You know what I want to do, actually? Major spellbook here. That's kind of my main spellbook. I have another spellbook in storage. Put you back on 1, please. Thank you. I have another one in storage, but I'm going to try to do this with just the single item here. So let's go ahead, open up our crafting here, and the enchantment I'm looking for today is, I'm not actually sure which one it would be under, probably in here. Reactive. So we have reactive on our armor. I haven't put any spell on it yet, but I'm going to put some reactive on my spell book itself. That way what I can do is when I'm in combat, like I'm running around shooting spells at him, I can then just punch with the book and it will heal me. So that's what we're going to be setting up. So let's go ahead and open that up again. Documentation. We need spell parchment, block of lapis, and source gem. That is pretty darn cheap. So lapis. We're going to grab a stack of those because we're going to need quite a few of those. Gems, I think I said. And a spell parchment. I've got a few of these. No big deal. It's just it's actually pretty cheap to make. R. Recipe. Thank you. Let's make a couple more. Or I guess one more. That works. Cool. And I'm going to use the blank one, I think, because I'm not sure if it really matters. But let's go ahead and check. Spell parchment, block of lapis, block of gem. Cool. Parchment, lapis, and gem. And our book can go in here. Let's take our shield off. No recipes found. Pedestals must be within 3 blocks. You worked earlier. Oh, right. You need to actually start with something. So let's go ahead and set this. Do I have a scribing table right over here? You are going to be my heal spell. So let's go ahead. Do I want just this regular one? Do I want rune or do I want it to be touch? I think I'm going to go with self for that. We'll hit save. Open me up again, it shifts everything over. 4 amp is probably good. We can no longer do regen, by the way. The heal and extend time is no longer a thing. Yeah, so you can't just make regen and have it work like that. But I think what we can do is, I think I'm going to stick with this heal amplify. I was thinking maybe put like regen on it. We can put mage light, and I don't want dispel, because I want to be able to like rely on having a regen effect or something if needed. So for now, no dispel. Where could you conjure water though? The reason for that, it won't do anything for this fight, but if I find myself on fire, like say fighting blazes, then I can just punch with my book and it will conjure water on self, which puts you out, which is pretty useful. Is there anything else I want on here? I have mage light so I can see. I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Cool. Apply you. Grab the spell. And put you back on the pedestal. Let's grab our lapis as well. Cool. And now we can enchant it. Now each level of the reactive effect here, the reactive enchantment, will why am I regenning so fast? Kind of impressive actually. There we go. Food is now down, so that'll be there we go. So each level of reactive is a 25% chance to cast whatever spell you had set. So this heal, amplify 4, conjure mage light, and conjure water has a 25% chance of actually happening when I punch with it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there we go, finally hit. Kind of spam clicked it. So what I can do is, that's kind of annoying, especially if I'm in a fight. I need to be able to have reliable healing instead of having to spam click. I want it just to be able to be active. So let's go ahead and upgrade our reactive. So level 2 is blaze powder, air, water, fire, and earth. Now we already have fire and water set up. Let's get our air essence and earth essence set up going over here so we can get a couple of those. While we're at it, let's see what our level 3 needs. Level 3, manipulation, conjuration, and abjuration. We've got those already. And level 4, which is a 100% chance to cast. Well, that needs a wild and tribute to begin with. So, yeah, we need to actually fight him first. So we'll go with level 3, I think. And I think that should be sufficient for fighting this guy. So I need earth and air. I don't have air in here, right, do I? No, I've got fire. Let's check our book here. Essence. Yeah, we've just got fire and water. So earth and air. Let's see. Where are you? Earth. You need iron ingot, some sort of dirt, and seeds. That's pretty simple. Seeds. Just need one of you. Iron. Just need one of you. And what did I say? Dirt. Okay. Let's clear our hotbar there. Grab these guys out. Where was the last item? Dirt. Thank you. So let's grab all of these. One there. One there. And I think I can actually just swap it directly out. Yeah. Okay. And let's grab some gems. Half stack should be plenty. In fact, we're going to do 4 for now, I think. Cool, and we'll be back once that's done. Alright, we got everything set up here. All of our essences on this side, the blaze on that side. Location, of course, does not matter. But let's go ahead, pop you in, and upgrade that to level 2 reactive. While we're at that, let's grab our other book. Because I'm going to look up the recipe for the next one. Which I think we've already got. You are 4 emeralds and an ender pearl, which we can get. Ender pearl, emerald, 1, 2, 3, 4, and one of each of the more exotic. I'm not really sure the wording for this. The non-elemental ones here. Manipulation, abjuration, and I think we've got another over here. Did we make conjuration yet? Maybe not. Horn, book, and star-bule shard. Interesting. Drigme, I don't have any star-bule shards. That's an issue. Okay, well, let's grab our book. So now it's a 50% chance that it'll cast, which isn't too bad. I'd like to get that upgraded all the way, though. You, emerald, ender pearl, 2, 3, 4, and we still need that last one, which needs one of you. And I think I turned all of you guys into actual starbuncles instead of just the shards. That is potentially a problem. Gold, please. I guess we're going to go on an exploration trip today. Alright, is that one? No, you are a Drigme. I saw a little dot on the map. I was hoping you'd be a squirrel. But alas, you are not. Okay, rubber banding, cool. Yeah, you're still a Drigme. Let's see. Whose base is this? This is Cole's base. Okay. I haven't been here for a while. Let's check it out. If it will let me fly, which it appears to not want me to. Rubber banding? There we go. Alright, well, like I said, I'm going to explore around a little bit and see if I can find one more star-bule shard. It's kind of cool. Like I said, one star-bule shard, and that should hopefully be enough. Anyone on the map there? Nope, just chickens. Oop, here's a dot. Maybe you are a star-bule, or are you another drigme? I'm thinking it's a drigme, but we're probably going to rubber band right as soon as we see it. Yep, there we go. Alrighty, where are you? You're down here. You're over there. Yep, another drigme. Okay, well, we'll keep looking. Hello there, little one. Can you come over here, please? I've got some gold for you. I can see a couple more dots on the map, so maybe you are more friends. Can you pick that up, please? Come here. Perfect. One. Let's see if we can find a couple more. Alright, well, we only found the one, but that's probably fine. So we're going to swap all of these out. Pop them back into here. 1, 2, and you were a wing. There we go. And now we can grab ourselves some gems. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sure, why not? And toss you into the hopper. Cool. That will eventually make these guys. Okay, well, once that is done, we can finish getting our level 3 reactive, and ideally pick out a spot to fight the actual Chimera. Oop, hello there, you are done. Perfect. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to actually just take that and get this guy started. Over there, and what goes in. Thank you. Alright, well, I think we've got ourselves a book. So I can now punch with it to give myself night vision and heal me up pretty much entirely. If I recall, that was pretty much a full heal each time. It does use a fair bit of mana, but I'm not too worried about that, to be honest. Didn't mean to take that out. Let's put that back in there, please. There we go. And let's store all of our stuff that we don't need anymore. You can go there. Yeah, we're going to equip our magnet though. And let's see, I don't need spell parchment. I don't need the wand. I do want my book. And I think store you as well. I think we're good. Okay, so we need a flat spot to summon this guy. I'm kind of thinking down in this area here. This area isn't being developed at the moment, so I'm not too concerned about it. It's roughly flat. I can maybe summon him here in the flatter spot there. But I think that'll suffice for what we need. Basically, it's going to create a whole bunch of craters and stuff. I don't want to do this too close to anyone's place, but I think this is a mostly flat area that should be good. Let's take a look around real quick. I think this is... Why is there a wandering trader here? Buddy, you're not going to want to be here in a little bit. Brown dye, don't need that. Gunpowder, I've already got all the saplings. Yeah, don't need anything. Let's take a look at our map. I think this is a good place. So let's go ahead and set things up. And I'm just going to kind of do it just right in the middle here. It's a decent terrain. I can run around pretty easily. We don't have speed, right? Haste is no longer a thing. Leap? No. Okay, well, I think this will work. Okay, so let's go ahead, place our brazier down and our tablet. So now, do I right click you or toss? Okay. Pick you up, right click that, it's awaiting activation. Now we get asked quite a lot, how do you actually summon this guy? You create that, place it in there, do not activate it yet. You have to first augment it by tossing each of these in. In the upper corner there, you can see it says, it's kind of hard to see with the one probe in the way, but it says items consumed, Wilden horn. Toss the next one, spike, and wing. One of each of those will make it so it summons the actual Chimera. So let's go ahead and drink. Yeah, we'll drink that. Why not? Actually, let's eat first. I'll make sure that we're fully saturated. All the way. Thank you. And that gets us a minute or so of mana regen 1. Let's bump that up to mana regen 2, why don't we? So 3 minutes of that should be sufficient. Now, there's lots of ways I can go about this. One is using combat spells, the other is with a sword. I think I'm going to do kind of a mix of that. There's ways you can kind of cheese this fight as well. He doesn't swim well, so you could get him into water over there and he'll get stuck. Similarly with lava, but then you risk losing the items. Iron Golems was one that Zachris was trying out. It seemed pretty effective, but I'm just going to kind of go in and kind of see what happens. So, here goes nothing. Activate it. And should be a decent fight. Now last time I did this, the sword and shield method to me seemed the fastest. Because, oh, I didn't actually put a spell on the shield, did I? Okay, I'm not sure where the Wilden... Oh, you're going after the wolves, that's fine. Gonna hit me. So if he hits the shield, you get a, how did I get a potion effect? Go ahead and hit me. There we go. First level is pretty easy. Because it just kind of comes up and he just swings at you. Not too bad. Let's back up. We don't need to regenerate any buffs or anything. Oh good, this one. That's, yep. Apparently shield does not block that. Good to know. Well, that's why we enchanted our armor. Oh, he's much faster now though. It's gonna take a little bit here. He's got a lot of health. And of course he's now summoning more things like these guardians, or defenders rather. But that's why we have our spellbook too. Do you take damage from that? Not really. Okay. Back to our sword. And phase 2 is done. Last phase 3. Let's see. Ideally not the wings. Okay, well, that's why I have a shield. Let's heal ourselves. Hello there. Where are you? So basically, each of the different rounds... Are you immune to damage right now? Probably is. Okay, let's get out of here. A little bit further. Heal ourselves up. And let's swap to our attack spell, because these guys can be annoying, but since they tend to be pretty close to each other, yeah, works well. Oh, hello there. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, the slowness from the cold snap does not seem to do much as far as... There we go, thank you. It doesn't do much. There we go. Okay, back to this mode. Hello, are you gonna ram me? Go ahead. Thank you. Hit me again. Thank you. Now my spell does more damage against you. Perfect. Yeah, with the shield here, oh wow, that took a lot of damage. But if you get hit when you're blocking with it, it gives you regen as well as the extra magic damage. So once he got hit, once he blocked me with that, then suddenly my attack spell does a whole lot more damage, and made pretty short work of him. We got ourselves a Wilden Tribute, and I'm not going to do that again until the shield gets enchanted, because, yeah, I don't want that to break. Well, since we have the Totems of Undying next to our bed there, I think what we're going to do is do the Wither next. And instead of cheesing him by throwing him into the bedrock ceiling of the Nether, or the End Portal is another good one, I'm just going to hop down here. Now, it's ideally not splat because I have my flight spell. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tunnel in one direction here for a little bit and just summon him in a tunnel. I think that works quite well. Let's go ahead and, we'll do it here. That's fine. So, let's take you off. Oh, are we? Oh, bedrock's up one layer. Okay. Let's try this again at this height. Okay, so I'm going to tunnel a little bit here, and we will have ourselves a nice spot to summon Wither. Let's go. This is probably enough. Good enough. Okay, so let's go ahead and light this area up, and let's break out a small area to summon him in. Okay, 3x3 should be good. And what's going to happen is he's going to probably be stuck up there. He's going to break it, but I think that's fine. There you go. Wither skull, and let's go ahead and eat. Get that saturation up again. we go. Withering Heights. Alright, and start killing it. Now, one thing that you can do on this guy is, I'm not sure how well you can hear me to be honest, but heal spells will hurt him. So that's another strategy against the Wither, is just come up and heal him to death. Keeping an eye on the health here, it is full still. Apparently he doesn't hit that hard. Or at least doesn't hit hard if he got full protection 5, but yeah, this works. I'm just gonna kill the sword all the way. That seems to be pretty easy to do. There we go. Cool. And we have ourselves another star, which means if we open up this, we can hit you. And what was the other item I needed? Oh, right, the totem. Cool. Let's go ahead and heal and head back up to the top. Okay, well, I grabbed one of the 2 totems here. I'm not sure who they're from, but we can always farm those up later anyway. Let's go ahead and open up our storage thing. Totem in, book in, and we have ourselves a tier 3 spellbook. Ooh, and it does keep my reactive 3. That is useful. So I can still punch to heal myself and give myself night vision. Awesome. We have upgraded finally fully Archmage Hood, Archmage Armor rather, and the spellbook can cast tier 3 glyphs or lower, which means we now have finally unlocked the thing I've been wanting for quite a while, and if I can see it then I will point to it, but I'm not seeing it. Where is it? Where are you? Blink. Yes. Blink is my favorite. Blink is so powerful. We can do a couple things. We have our warps set up over here, but what we can also do now is I can put just a chest right here and a rune on top of it, Rune of Blink, and I'll be able to set up my own personal warps anywhere that I'd like. Just I don't have a way of getting back besides /home. But yeah, that's an option now. And of course, speaking of the Blink glyph, over here at the Octave Systems base, she's showing me the setup that she has for her warp hub. So if I drop through here, we've got a nice little wall of buttons. I'm really impressed with this whole thing, by the way, if you're watching. That's really cool. And then these buttons here will then trigger on the other side that wall of turrets that we just saw. So if I go back to teleport maintenance, hop through, we can now get back here and see how it's all set up. And like I said, it's just projectile blink, which is really cool. This is why I wanted the blink spell in tier 3 book, is to be able to do cool things like this. Sends it into the prism, bounces it down into the portal, which then ends up hitting the player. So if we go through here, we appear right back here. Very cool system. So I decided to fight him again. He is currently frozen, which does not bode well for me. There we go, server caught up. But what this level does, or what this thing does, because he has the wings here, he has a special attack, which we will probably see shortly here. You can go away. Or it can freeze. Cool, that's good too. Let's try to not die when this finally catches up. But with the wings there, what he does is he will float up into the air very slowly and then dive bomb you. It's pretty much an instant death if you don't have... Here we go. This wolf, probably not going to survive. Yeah. But are you going to get hit here? No, you're still not. Okay. So let's get out of this area here. Heal, please. Thank you. Can you take damage from spells? No. Okay. So basically, yeah, he floats up in the air, does that attack, that dive bomb, and if you're not expecting it, then yeah, it's gonna kill you. So best protection against that is having your shield up. Come on. In which case he does very little damage. To you at least. The ground is destroyed. There we go. Another one down. Well, the ground is a little worse for wear here. A couple craters here and there, but we got ourselves yet another Wilden tribute. These things are used for a couple different recipes. So of course the original recipe is for the tier 3 spellbook, but you can also use it to get these various focuses. So focus of summoning makes it so that if you have any summons, such as a wolf or decoys or Vex or anything, you can actually have them cast self spells on themselves to give them buffs. Kind of useful. I've never personally used it because I don't really like using the summons, but it's a thing, I guess. And then there's also these sigils of aethermancy, pyromancy, geomancy, and aquamancy, as well as different focuses. These are from Ars Arsenal. These other focuses are from Ars Elemental. So the focuses here are, like I said, spell focus. They will buff that school, so in this case fire, because it's fire. Whereas these sigils are used in the smithing table to make the specific elemental robes. So kind of useful things there. What else have we got here? I think that's about it. There are some things with these focuses though that are actually pretty useful. Focus of fire, for instance, the flare spell. So generally my attack spell is, if I go here, it is projectile, freeze, cold snap, bunch of amplifies, fortune in there just for good measure, and then pick up. What if I did flare instead of cold snap here? What the fire focus does is it means that even mobs that are normally immune to fire attacks, such as zombie piglins, they'll still take damage, which means the flare spell becomes suddenly a lot more interesting and more useful because it will do damage to things that it normally couldn't. And if I recall, the flare spell actually hits harder than cold snap does, but to be honest, I'm still going to stick with my just regular cold snap spell. Hello, zombie. How hard do you hit? If I crit, not too bad, 16 damage. Okay, just trying to figure that out. I do want to put a spell on here, and I was thinking actually I want to put a reactive spell on my storage accessor as well. Specifically the glide spell. It's a tier 3 spell, which I think I now have access to. If I can find it, of course, that's always the problem. Glide. So what this does is it basically pretends like you have an elytra. I don't have an elytra. Haven't been to the end yet much, besides I got a little bit of endstone earlier on. But that'd be pretty useful, because then I can just punch with this, and then I can fly, and it's basically like I have an elytra even though I don't have one. So pretty useful, and let's see what it'll take to do that. So I need the need to add reactive, of course. That's always annoying. But honestly, I think since this isn't going to be something that I'm using in combat, like heal, I needed it to be kind of instant. Just punch and I suddenly have it. Took me 2 punches there. But I think this one, because it's not something I'll be using in an emergency, like I can always leap off and then give myself glide if needed, I think that'll be okay. So let me grab all the materials for that. We'll be right back. Okay, so we have ourselves self, glide, and 5 extend times. Just curious, what is this going to give me? That will give me 13 minutes of glide. That's plenty. You know what? No, we're going to go higher. How much mana does that use? Not a whole lot, and it gives me 19 minutes. Okay, I think that's good. Let's put you on here. Our spell parchment, block lapis, and a gem, and let's put you in here. Use a bit of source, but that's okay, I've got plenty. Once that's done, basically just be able to punch with that. May take a couple shots, but then we'll be able to glide around like we have an elytra without actually using the elytra. Okay, and now it's sparkly too. We have 18 minutes 24 seconds. 18:24. There we go. 18:59. So just a couple punches with this. Maybe. I'm not hearing a little sizzle thing. There's new sound effects, so that's kind of a clue when it works, I guess. Down to 58. That's fine. Now we can drop our slow fall off of here, and we can fly like normal. So I've been looking forward to having an elytra for a while. My original plan with this base was actually to build in an elytra course through here. I might still do that. It depends on the server, to be honest, because when the server is going slow, it is a little difficult to actually fly without running into things. Frame rate there wasn't great either. But I'm happy to have this finally, because that means I can just kind of zoom around. So I like that. And of course it does still work just by opening it up. So yeah, cool. Let's see, what other tier 3 spells do we have now that we didn't have access to before? Ray is a new one. This is basically line of sight, kind of like an instant projectile. It has a very short range though. Let's see, lay on hands. I didn't know that was actually a thing now. Not monster entities by touch. I'll have to read about that one. Homing projectile is actually a really interesting one. let's switch to our harm thing here and get a homing projectile. And then let's go find something to go kill. And we don't have slow fall anymore. I need to remember that. Let's land in the tree. I was trying to land here. There we go. Okay. So let's switch to our new attack. Yeah, not too bad. Does what it says. I don't have to actually aim at things anymore. It just works. It does cost quite a bit more mana, I think, though. But not as big of an issue now that we have tier 3 stuff. Yeah, I like it. It's kind of cool. You can hit things around corners. Other things, let's see. Underfoot we already had. Orbit is an interesting one. It causes 3 little orbs to spin around you. So useful on reactive armor, actually, because then if anything is near you, it'll start spinning, say, an attack spell around you, and it'll just work. Actually, come to think of it, a homing projectile wouldn't be too bad either. Explosion, we had that one before. There's all these new filters. So this is from Too Many Glyphs. What they do is you can have it to specifically avoid things. So, for instance, filter not player, filter player. I could put filter not player on my attack spell here, and that way I won't actually hurt anyone else around me if I'm using an attack. Whereas with this, since it's, you know, homing, it'll eventually hit someone. So that's kind of a cool thing. I'm going to switch this back to regular projectile though. Oh, arc projectile, that's a cool one too. This one here calls it to bounce. Or, okay, doesn't bounce, it... I think I need to actually add bounce for that to work. Every pier supplied will make it bounce one more time when it hits the ground. Otherwise, it's basically kind of lobs like a grenade. In the background between clips here, I have been busy. Trying to get a bit of more shape and form to this base, try to get more defined of how I would actually like it to, you know, finally look. Before it was just kind of those shapes on the ground. I've got, you know, rectangles, squares, circles, just kind of randomly it seemed. And we're slowly turning that into a mega base. I'm really happy with how it's turning out so far. I still don't really have an actual design. Like behind me here you can see I've got that big flat area on top. My plan is still to have those be towers that'll go up even further. Probably just one more layer, kind of like that middle layer there, and then a dome on top of that. So it'll be probably about to where my top of my head is there, somewhere up there. But I'm happy with how it's turning out. Oh, that's cool. Alright, click to make night vision. Thought someone slept at the right time. But yeah, we are making progress there, and we've got more and more progress to be made still. We've got our tier 3 booked now, so we have access to a whole lot of things we didn't before. Fangs, I think we've got Vex in here somewhere as well. Various filters that will enable us to make things that are a bit more player friendly, instead of having mob traps that kill people as well. You know, just, you know, hit the target that we're actually wanting to. But I think this is a good spot to call it for now. Sorry about the strobe light effect. You know, just punch. There we go. No more strobe light. Like I said, we've got lots of things done here, making progress on the base as well, and I need to finally, you know, kind of decide where I want things to be in this base. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.